Hey, I'm Krista Wax, and this is Right on Radio here on KFAI, and I'm so excited. I have Heather Gudenkauf here with me. Hello, Heather.
Hello, it's so good to see you, Krista. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you. It is so great to see and be chatting with you right now. I'm so excited to talk about, well, we're going to talk about the new book, of course, The Perfect Host, but you have just such a great collection of books that you have written, and I'm so excited to chat with you some more about all of it.
Wonderful.
Let's get into it. Just tell me a little bit about the perfect host. I'm afraid I'm going to blurt out something I'm not supposed to, so I feel like you are the best one to talk about the book. So,
Yeah, I'm so excited to share it with you. So, The Perfect Host is the story of a married couple, Madeline and Wes Drake, and they live on this remote uh, Wyoming horse ranch. It's in the middle of nowhere, but they're wealthy landowners. They raise horses. Madeline is a former equestrian star, and they're married and they're expecting their first child. And so they decide to host a gender reveal party. And they go big. So they invite 200 of their closest friends. They have gourmet food, champagne. They have um, they have a famous country western singer who's going to be flown in to provide the entertainment. There's even like a little bit of a rodeo on the side. So they're preparing for this huge event and they want to share it with their community. But this is a thriller and a mystery. So, of course, things go very wrong. And at the end of the night, uh, one of the guests has died tragically. And enter ATF agent Jamie Saldano. He comes on scene to figure out what has happened here because it's pretty clear early on that there is foul play involved. And we learn that Jamie has some secrets of his own, that he has some ties to the community from when he was a young child, and he has loss of his own that he really would like to get to the bottom of. And so it was a really fun, twisty book to write. I like to say it is, dark, twisty. It starts with a bang, but it has a lot of heart and emotion in it, and it was, an intense journey that I hope readers will also enjoy.
I enjoyed it. I found it just thrilling and so many great characters and so much going on. How, how did you, where did this concept come from? I mean, it's genius of the gender reveal party, and then it's just something goes haywire.
Yeah. Yeah, I typically get my ideas for my books from the news or media in some way. And it seems like in the last several years, there have been a lot of news accounts of gender reveals gone wrong. I mean, not far from where I live, there was a case where um, a family was using pyrotechnics in their reveal, and sadly, mother-in-law was killed in the incident. And very sad, tragic, because, this is supposed to be the happiest moments of a couple's life to be able to share this, and then, things accidentally go wrong. There was another case out west of thousands and thousands of acres of land and wildlife being destroyed because of a fire that was started because of a gender reveal gone wrong, and a firefighter died in one of those as well. So I felt like I was seeing more of this tragedy surrounding um, something that's supposed to be very happy, and I thought it'd be really interesting to set a thriller mystery with the backdrop of a gender reveal as well. And so that's what I decided to do. And when I started looking into it, because I have three kids, we never did really gender reveals. We, found out, and it's a social construct as well. So there's a whole other layer to that, society as well. But it was nothing that people I knew did or chose to do. Um, but on social media, it seems like it's everywhere. And I started watching these videos, and it for some people, it really turned into this huge celebration, almost like, a wedding ceremony. There was, this huge parties and really such the potential for something to go wrong. And so that's where the idea for the book came from.
I've seen I hadn't really heard that much about the tragedies that have happened at some of them,
Yeah.
but I do enjoy the videos that just pop up where it's just like it just kind of went wrong or someone messes it up or
Yeah,
whatever
really,
happens.
these spectacles, that are fun to watch and, to get a sneak peek in on because they're, people are genuinely happy. So yeah, but it is interesting. And when for the examples of the ones when people aren't hurt, they can be entertaining as well.
When you are going through your writing process, especially with this book, because there are so many different characters and we're kind of doing a little timeline jumping as well, how do you keep track of that? When you started writing this book, did you know that was kind of where you were going to go? Does that happen through the process as you're developing the idea, or how do we get here?
Yeah, so this is my 11th book. So my writing process has really kind of evolved over the years. I was squarely in the camp of being a pantser, meaning I wrote by the seat of my pants for most of my books, and that's worked really well for me, and I've enjoyed that. But I also found that I wrote myself into a lot of really messy corners, and um, decided, maybe I need to map things out a little bit more. And I did do that with this book. Now, that doesn't mean things didn't change because absolutely things changed as I worked on the book and went back to revise. But it helped me kind of stay grounded within the story about where I wanted to go. So I had a good sense of the characters, who they were, their role in the story. But honestly, the the who done it changed as the story went on, and one character emerged as the person who was the bad person. And so I think allowing myself to have that structure, but also letting myself go off course if I need to is really important for me to really try to find that magic in the storytelling, which can come unexpectedly, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that wow, that's just a lot to keep track of. And bless you for your service and your work.
So I have my little tricks of the trade. I have had an outline. I have like a list of characters and who they are and their role in the story. I even as once I really got deeply into the story, I had color cut quoted note cards where for each character, where when questions arose about each of the characters, I would write it on one of the little note cards. So to make sure I would come back to it and um, hopefully address whatever that concern was or detail about the character. So there are definitely a lot of moving pieces.
Oh, sure. Wow. That's incredible. Is that when you're sending it off then to your editor, how much of this do you already have? Do you have most of it mapped out? You're giving them an outline. Where in that process do you get them involved or where do they give their comments?
I'm really, really fortunate. I have an editor who like I trust with my life, and we have a very collaborative process with the work. And so typically I'll come up with a list of all different ideas of books that I'd like to explore, and I share them with her, and we kind of talk about which one really jumps off the page, and we agree on the one that we think would be really a fun one or really one that might speak to readers. And then um, I might do like a short few paragraph overview of where I think it's going to go. And then she'll look at that. We'll talk about it a little more, and then I'm off and running. And then as the story progresses, I check in often. I'll send a few pages at the beginning. We'll talk some more, and but the real work comes when I submit the first draft of the manuscript to her. The my first, not my first draft, but the first draft that she sees, and she gives these great insights into the story because by that time I am so entrenched in the story that, sometimes you can't see up or down or left or right. And she's able to give that bird's eye view of what an outsider looking in sees within the story, the strengths, what's working, what isn't working, and then give suggestions. And we talk about those. And, you know, she's right almost all the time in seeing that. And, so I'll get a letter back, a, an editorial letter, and I'll digest that information. We'll talk some more, and then I jump right back into the story. And we do that a couple times. I say I write ugly because I just kind of get everything down on the page, and then the real work for me comes in that revision process.
Oh, that's fascinating. Well, that's good that you and your editor get along well.
Sure. I mean, she is really good at what she does and is able to, pull out of me hopefully the best that I can be as well. And it's a great collaboration.
It's great. What what is something surprising that you find? You mentioned this is your 11th book that's come out. So over your course of being an author, what's something that you found to be most surprising, either about the process or people or events or in
Yeah, well, a few things. Yeah, there are a few things that continue to surprise me, but number one, it never gets easier. You'd think 11 books, it would be like, oh, I got this. So, I can write a book. I always feel like I'm starting from the very first day I bought my first journal, and started writing my first book. And, it's like the unknown and the uncertainty. Um, it doesn't get easier, but what has changed in that sense is that I know I can get through it. Early on in my career, I'm like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think that, I can't do it. This is way too hard. Now I'm like, okay, I feel like I can't do this, but I know I can do this because I've been in this position before. So there's something to be said for that, but it doesn't get easier. The other thing, and this isn't really a surprise to me, but it's just something I'm really grateful for. Readers and writers are like the nicest people. And it's like, what better way to surround myself with people that love what I love, want you to do well, are as excited about books and reading as I am. And so it's so much fun when I do get the chance to get out and talk to readers, and fellow writers. And it's just really special. It's a special community. And I think if more people would do it if they knew how nice everybody is, in this group. So I love that because anytime I can talk books with anybody, any books, I'm a happy person.
same here.
I can talk all day. All day.
I know it is fun to meet fellow readers. And I mean, as a reader, I'm not an author. As a reader, it's fun too, and to talk to authors as well and just see. So, what is there anything you can tell us about future writing projects that are happening or
Yeah, I have a couple, which is rare. Usually I'll say I have one, but in the works, but I have two. And the first one is a collaboration. It's a thriller that I wrote with two other authors, Kara Ruda and Kimberly Bell. And we host an author interview series as well called the Killer Author Club, where we talk to authors, and it's so much fun. And we're about 3 years in, and we kind of looked at each other this last year and said, you know what? Should we should we write a book together? Should we do it? And we're like, let's do it. So we did. And so it's called Take Back the Night, and it's coming out winter of 2027, so about a year from now. And it's a twisty thriller told from three points of view, along with some other kind of fun perspectives. and we had so much fun doing it. It was such a great time. And then my 12th book, my standalone book, does not have a title yet, but it's it's I'm about a third of the way done, so I have a lot of work to do, but I'm really loving it. And again, it's a thriller where nothing is as it seems, and regular everyday people are thrown into these, pretty awful circumstances and have to wade their way through it to get to the other side. But I'm really, really liking this one as well, and it's been a lot of fun to dig into.
Oh, great. I'm excited already. I love my twisty thrillers. Those are my favorites. What's let's talk a little bit about Killer Author Club. I'm thrilled to hear that the three of you are writing a book. That's fantastic. When you said it was a collaboration, oh my gosh, I hope it's the three of you doing that. Let's talk a little bit more about Killer Author Club, how you got started and how what I don't know. Tell us. I'm excited. I can't even come up with a question.
So it's really one of those unexpected things that kind of happened pretty organically. Kara, Kimberly, and I have known each other for years, mostly on social media. We've met, the three of us, earlier in our careers because we um, published at the time with the same publishing house. And we met at a conference, and I met Kimberly a few years before that as well. But we were just friendly on social media, and we had books coming out at the same time a few years ago during the pandemic. And, everything was shut down. So nobody was doing in-person events, and we were kind of looking at, what can we do to get the word out about our books? This is so different. It was a whole new world. And Kara Ruda had the idea of, doing this interview series. And what we would just start with the three of us. It would be about our three books, and we would air it on on YouTube and Facebook. And since then, it's really grown. It's grown into YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, as well as on our web. We have a website, a Killer Author Club website, and we interview, and we have a podcast now. Um, Based on our interviews. And we interview some of our favorite thriller and mystery writers in the world. And we have 30 minutes of a lot of fun. It's killer cocktails, killer conversation, and killer giveaways. And it's really speedy, like I said, 30 minutes. And we recently interviewed someone by the name of Lee Child of the Jack Reacher series and his brother Andrew, who's continuing that series on. We've interviewed Lisa Scotolini, Geneva Rose, Karen Slaughter, just so many of our favorites that, we look at each other and like, are we really able to do this? We have so much fun. And it's really a chance to highlight authors and books that we love, as well as newer authors as well. We try to do that in our show as well. And it's kind of a fun way to give back to the writing community, and the reading community that we so much enjoy. It's been a lot of fun.
It seems like it. It seems like you all are having a blast doing it. I'm glad it's still continuing on well beyond the pandemic and everything.
Who would have thought?
Right? What are you reading right now?
Gosh, I'm reading so many great books. One book that I'm reading, let's grab it right here, if I can. This one is Jilly McMillan, The Burning Library, and this comes out like this coming week, I believe. And Jilly is one of my favorite authors. She's a UK writer, and this is about two secret societies who are clamoring for the same piece of, I don't want to give too much away, piece of historical something that really has like far-reaching um, consequences on whoever gets their hands on it. And this young woman gets caught up in the middle of it all, and how she's trying to race against time to get to the bottom of this mystery. It's really good. So The Burning Library by Jilly McMillan. Recently, I've also I listened to a lot of audiobooks as well as read, but it was called The Briar Club, and I'm going to say it the wrong, Quinn. It's Kate Quinn, I believe, who wrote that one.
That sounds right. I know I can picture the cover.
And historical fiction, and it is a mystery as well. And I just love it. It's told from several different points of view, which I love, and all leading to this collision course into discovering who this murderer is. And I just really thoroughly enjoyed that as well.
That one's been on my TBR forever. So,
Probably said the wrong Quinn, but the Briar Club.
Briar Club. Very good. Well, Heather, thank you so much for your time today. Really
Yeah.
appreciate it.